Arsenal have got their revenge with their third win in a row. This time Sean Dyche's Everton were blown away as the Emirates witnessed a free-flowing display. So from the new position of Gabriel Martinelli to the star performance of Alexander Zinchenko and Mikel Arteta's game-changing tactics, let's break it all down and discuss the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 4, Everton 0. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Babs14, welcome back to your boys channel, and I know you guys are doing sensational after that stupendous Arsenal dub where Arsenal have mathematically secured their safety. It's fantastic to see, so smash a like if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I want to say a gargantuan shout out to every single one of you as we have now hit 150,000 subscribers. But let's start off with Mikel Arteta's midfield duel winners. Yes, this game was massive in terms of the title race, but also in terms of redemption. Let's not forget that only a few weeks ago Everton were the first team to beat Arsenal since September. They took away the Arsenal momentum and Sean Dyche showed a way to play against Mikel Arteta. On that day, Everton won the midfield duel. Amadou Onana, Idrissa Gana Gueye and Doucouré outpowered and outran the Arsenal midfield. But from that game, Mikel Arteta's team learnt a lesson, and in this game, it was time to get revenge. No surprise to see Sean Dyche go with the same exact tactic, but this time round it was nowhere near as effective. With Doucouré, Gana Gueye and Amadou Onana all putting in stinkers. 6.3 ratings, 5.9 and 6.1. Everton only won 1 ground duel out of a possible 8 in midfield. As Sean Dyche says, in the second half they showed what a side they are. You look at Arsenal's work ethic. They knew because they came to Goodison, we put in a shift and we protected our lead. They responded. The top teams learn. Arsenal had learnt their lesson, and in this game there was a standout midfielder. No, we're not talking Jorginho, Odegaard or Xhaka. Let's talk Alexander Zinchenko. It's time that we understand Zinchenko is more than just a left back. Have a look at his heat map. This guy is everywhere. His overall performance was fantastic with 1 assist, 1 clearance, 2 interceptions, 1 tackle, 110 touches, 82 passes, 3 key passes, 4 long balls and 5 ground duels won. This was a passing masterclass. Playing as an inverted fullback, this guy's become the orchestrator of the Arsenal team. Often it's in the build-up where he excels the most, but in this game, in the final third, he opened up the Everton defence, finding Bukayo Saka with a lovely pass in behind. This guy's a left back that finds himself all the way on the right hand side in the half space. It's time that we understand that this guy is more than just a left back. As Mikel Arteta says, that's why we brought him here. He brings something different to the team. His mentality and his quality to do certain things allow us to be unpredictable. He played in those kind of games against low blocks 200 times, and that's very helpful. This game was all about patient passing, especially in the first half where Everton had a deep block and it was at 0-0. Arsenal were trying to find rhythm, and Zinchenko has experience of being in those moments. At Man City, they're used to playing against deep blocks on a weekly basis. Zinchenko understands what he needs to do, where he needs to be, and in the final third in this game showed fantastic quality for the first Arsenal goal and also the fourth. Arsenal have also kept clean sheets in back-to-back games, and their first one at the Emirates since Newcastle on January the 3rd. Defensively we were solid and Gabriel and Saliba put in decent performances, but Everton was still making chances and really could have scored, but up stepped our goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, who put in a fantastic performance with 5 saves, 4 inside the box, 2 out of 2 runouts, and completed 85% of his passes. This guy was intent on keeping the clean sheet, especially in the final moments of the game where Everton had a massive opportunity. Ramsdale loves clean sheets, and so far this season he's kept 11. That is the second highest in the Premier League, only behind Nick Pope. But most of those clean sheets have come away from home, and now it's time for Arsenal to get the home record on track. In this game, the Arsenal goalkeeper earns clean sheets. Improvements are definitely being made. Moving on to the second thing, free-flowing Arsenal. Let's not lie, in the first 40 minutes it was a very hit and miss game. Everton had set up their game plan with a deep block, constantly trying to waste time, especially from goal kicks from Jordan Pickford. The Arsenal fans were definitely getting annoyed, but the Arsenal players had to be patient. If you're trying to be a champion, you need to find a way, and in the 40th minute, Arsenal did. As Mikel Arteta says, once we scored the first goal, the game unlocked. We needed a magic moment and Bukayo produced that. After that, we grew and deserved to win the game. There's no denying the floodgates opened, and as the XG shows, it was a deserved win. Arsenal 2.96, Everton 1.39. The overall stats as per show the dominance. 73% possession, 764 passes, 80 final third entries, and a 3.5 expected threat created. It is wave after wave of Arsenal pressure. In this game, 78% of the field tilt. Week on week and game after game, Arsenal fans are getting used to seeing these sort of numbers because Arsenal are just so dominant on a consistent basis. After that first goal, the Arsenal team relaxed. They realised the game was in their hands, and once that happened, the likes of Martin Odegaard definitely shone, scoring his 9th goal of the season. He pulled out a Mesut Ozil-like celebration. That's now 15 goals and assists for the Arsenal captain. And in the second half, it was free-flowing and it was entertaining. The Arsenal players were pulling out the tricks and flicks, and some of the passes in the final third were outrageous. It was a throwback to a bit of an Arsene Wenger-esque performance where the team is so free-flowing to one-touch passing in the final third. In full flow, Arsenal are the most entertaining team to watch in the Premier League, even more than Man City. This Arsenal team is all about connections and energy, a team full of playmakers, and that's why when you have the likes of Trossard alongside Odegaard, Martinelli and Saka, teams don't know who to mark because everyone's rotating. It causes all sorts of havoc, and where in the first game against Everton the likes of Nketiah were stationary, Arsenal are at their most dangerous when a team is moving around, and in this game Everton's defence couldn't handle it. As Mikel Arteta says, it's a statement that we are here and we want to continue to do this. Now Man City have responded to Arsenal's victories and they have beaten Bournemouth 4-0 and also won in the FA Cup. They are trying to build a momentum. So for Arsenal at home to win 4-0 against an Everton side that caused them so many issues only a few weeks ago, not only does it show this Arsenal team is learning, but they are also sending out a statement. 3 wins in a row after their first blip of the season. The team has since stepped up and today was another emphatic response. Moving on to the third thing, and that is the attacking difference makers. Against Leicester, we saw the brand new Arsenal front three of Leandro Trossard, Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. In that game they were good, in this game they were even better. The introduction of Leandro Trossard has been fantastic. Only signed for a fee of £20 million, that's looking like a massive bargain. Playing as a false nine, this guy has elevated the Arsenal attack. Essentially Mikel Arteta is trying to replicate what Arsenal had with Gabriel Jesus, a free-flowing Arsenal attack that's able to constantly rotate. Trossard has definitely had a massive impact, and he's now got 2 assists in 2 games. With an overall 7.2 rating, 1 successful dribble, 19 passes, 1 key pass, 1 big chance created and 3 long balls. His instant impact is an example of why Arsenal have signed players out of the Premier League. This guy understands the requirements and he doesn't need time to adapt. That's a very important aspect when you sign players in January. You want those players to adapt straight away so they can have an impact, and Trossard is definitely having that. His link up with Gabriel Martinelli was once again excellent, and as Mikel Arteta says, I think relationships build in teams naturally. He has even more chemistry with Fabio when you see them play. He's building that with Leo and his confidence is high again, and he's in a good mood. Now Trossard started the game as a false nine, but if you look at his heat map, it shows a player playing more on the left hand side. And that is because in this game we saw a new position for Gabriel Martinelli, who as his heat map shows, was playing far more centrally. A centre forward-esque performance of Gabriel Martinelli, and with 2 goals into the back of the net, as he says, it was a big performance. 2 goals from an XG of 0.86, 2 shots on target, 51 touches, 34 accurate passes, that's a 91% accuracy, and 1 long ball. His first goal in this game for me showed a lethal striker. He's quick, he's decisive, he's ruthless. And yes, people might see that as an easy 1v1, but as we've seen on numerous occasions this season with Gabriel Jesus and even Eddie Nketiah, those chances have not been buried. Gabriel Martinelli has now scored 11 goals this season, and he's only missed 3 big chances. In terms of non-penalty goals, this guy is only behind Erling Haaland, Harry Kane and Marcus Rashford, the 4th most in the Premier League. In this game his movement impressed me the most. There's no surprise that he excels the most when he's allowed to play centrally. He now has a partner with Leandro Trossard. You see on the right hand side Arsenal have Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, and those 2 players can play off each other. On the left hand side, as good as Xhaka has been, he's not got the same level of attacking instincts. Now along with Trossard, Martinelli has a connection, and that's made the Arsenal left hand side just as dangerous as the Arsenal right. It all poses the question that going into the future, as Martinelli continues his physical development, does he have a future as a centre forward? But on the right hand side you also had another standout player, and that is Bukayo Saka. An 8.0 overall rating with 1 goal, 1 assist, from an XG of 0.36, 1 successful dribble, 2 key passes, and 1 big chance created. He now has 19 goals and assists in the Premier League this season, the 3rd most in the league. He's also become the 6th youngest player in Premier League history to reach 50 goals and assists, after Michael Owen, Wayne Rooney, Robbie Fowler, Cesc Fabregas and Chris Sutton. 10 goals and 9 assists, this guy has 1 assist off a double-double season. Look at the company he keeps of some of the all-time Premier League greats. Only 21 years of age, I keep saying it, he's only getting warmed up. We need to talk about his first goal and how clinical the finish was. On his weaker right foot, decisive and ruthless, it was past Jordan Pickford in a flash, and he's only missed 1 big chance all season. In comparison, the likes of Marcus Rashford have missed 10. Arsenal are a team full of many goal scorers, and they might not be a standout goal scorer like a Erling Haaland, but as you guys can see, Arsenal love to share the goals. Saka has 11, Martinelli has 11, Nketiah has 9, Odegaard has 9, and you also have Gabriel Jesus with 5. Even though Man City might have their goal scoring robot, what Arsenal have here is a team full of different goal threats. Teams don't know who to mark because Arsenal have different ways of scoring, and that's a massive part to why why Arsenal are top of the Premier League. There are very few attacks in the world that are as exciting to watch as Arsenal, especially at the Emirates Stadium. And with this front three of Leandro Trossard, Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka, until the return of Gabriel Jesus, it needs to stay. But talk to me down below in the comments, and who do you believe was a standout Arsenal player and the man of the match? Moving on to the fourth thing, and that is Arsenal have depth. In this game, Jorginho got the nod ahead of Thomas Partey, and despite recently performing fantastically, in this game Jorginho looked off it. He gave the ball away a few times, and the Everton players were targeting him. Now after the game, Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Jorginho was ill, but with the game at 2-0, Mikel Arteta saw an opportunity to make a change, and he was proactive as on came Thomas Partey. And as Mikel Arteta says, I think the team grew, especially with Thomas because Jorginho wasn't feeling good today. When he came on, he really gave us some presence and stability to the team. This was a standout Thomas Partey cameo. 66 touches, 56 accurate passes, and 93% passing accuracy. 1 key pass, 6 out of 7 long balls, 1 big chance created, and 3 out of 3 ground duels. The fact that Arsenal even have a quality player like this coming off the bench just shows the level of our squad depth. Partey was on it, he looked razor sharp, and the fact that Arsenal have been slowly able to bring him back into the team, allow him to return to full fitness. Today we saw Partey at his best, and in that second half he was definitely a game changer. But game states are also very important. The game at 2-0 was basically won. Arsenal have 2 top number 6s, but who's going to start going into the future? Is it going to be Thomas Partey or is it going to be Jorginho? Arsenal also brought on the likes of Eddie Nketiah, Fabio Vieira and Emil Smith-Rowe. Nketiah could have scored and he even assisted the Arsenal fourth. And the introduction of Emil Smith-Rowe was very heartwarming, entering the Emirates Stadium for the first time in a very long time. As Smith-Rowe says, always the best feeling playing under the lights at home with the boys. I've missed it. And this game he was playing as a left winger, but in his last game for the Arsenal Academy, he was playing as a right-sided centre midfielder. It does pose the question of where does a fully fit Emil Smith-Rowe play in this Arsenal team. I was also very impressed by the performance of Fabio Vieira. A 7.1 overall rating with a 0.29 XG, 13 accurate passes, 1 long ball, and also 1 ground duel. Playing in the position of Granit Xhaka, again Fabio Vieira definitely makes the left-hand side more free-flowing, and there's no surprise why, because he is a more natural attacker. With our next game being against Bournemouth at home at the Emirates Stadium, they're definitely going to play a low block and they're going to be very defensive. So to play against that, the question is, does Mikel Arteta start Fabio Vieira over Granit Xhaka? And it could be about to get even better with the return of Gabriel Jesus. Here he was today, once again in attendance at the Emirates Stadium, and only a few days ago he posted a photo of him with the ball suggesting he's returning to full first team training. If Jesus is not far away, then things are about to get scary. Arsenal are about to get even better, and the fact that we've even been this good without Jesus, his return will give Arsenal a different level of options. Moving on to the fifth thing, and that is bounce back of champions. This team was massively questioned only a few weeks ago, and after losing to Man City, everyone started to lose belief. City were once again top of the league and everyone thought Arsenal were falling apart. But as I said in that moment, it was time to stay calm. I still believe this team could pull it back, and after 3 wins in a row, Arsenal have pulled 5 points clear top of the Premier League. They have now accumulated 60 points after 25 matches. The joint fastest Arsenal reached that total alongside 2003-04 and 2007-08. So after 25 games with only 13 games remaining, Arsenal have the same amount of points as the Invincibles. We are playing at a very high level and we are opening up gaps. 5 points clear of Man City, 11 clear of Man United, 15 clear of Tottenham, 21 of Liverpool and 29 points clear of Chelsea. With that 5-point lead, Arsenal have returned to where they started just after the World Cup, after playing 11 extra games. The title race is definitely getting interesting, and this weekend is going to be massive as Man City play first before Arsenal in a massive game at home against Newcastle. Then it's Arsenal against Bournemouth at the Emirates Stadium, and after that it's Sporting Lisbon away, Fulham away, Sporting Lisbon at home, Crystal Palace at home and Leeds United away. Arsenal have some winnable games there, and at 5 points clear, I can see that Arsenal fans might be getting a bit confident. But once again, we need to stay calm. There are still 13 massive games left of the season. They will be twists and turns and things might not go our way. We've also got some tough games towards the end of the season with Liverpool away, Man City away and even Chelsea at home. And as Arsenal fans know too well from last season, things can still fall apart, and therefore we need to be very careful to not get too overexcited. This team is showing all the signs and potential to bounce back like they have after the injury of Gabriel Jesus and after their first blip of the season. They are showing all of the positive signs, but the best thing we can do is take it game by game. And next up is Bournemouth at the Emirates Stadium. It's definitely winnable, but you have to always be careful. The Premier League is always full of shocks. So talk to me down below in the comments. What did you guys make of today's performance? And in terms of the title race, is the belief back in terms of title number 14? But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy in all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 4, Everton 0, a gargantuan dub at the Emirates Stadium, some beautiful football as well, and 5 points clear top of the league. It's beautiful, but game by game, Bournemouth next, and I will see you next time. Take care, in a bit.